Welcome to the Pull-Up Classroom. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the vocabulary of Unit 7. First, we're going to talk about the verbs and how to use them, and then we're going to go over some of the other words. The first word that we're going to talk about is consider. Consider as a verb has two different meanings. Number one is like think of. The other one is like think over. Now first, let's talk about how to use consider as a counterpart of think over. So somebody consider doing something or something. Like, please consider coming with us to the party. Okay, so the person actually wants you to come to the party and he wants you to think it over. So that's the first one. Use consider with a noun or VING. Number two is using consider as think of. Somebody consider someone or VING to be, well, the to be is actually neglectable. You don't have to write them. An adjective or a noun. A simple sentence would be something like, I consider you my student. So you is the object, which is the noun after consider, and a student, that's the position that a person occupies. That's the object complement. It's a noun. Okay? So remember, after consider, you have to first use a noun, can be VING, to be is negligible, and then adjective or a noun. So let's take a look at the example here. My parents consider good manners very important. So you can see that good manners, it's a noun, and very important. Okay, that's an adjective. To be is not really necessary. Alright? Now, the noun of consider will be consideration. So you can put something into consideration. I want you to write this one down. Put something into consideration. That's how you use the word, or how people often use the word consideration. And then, a person can be really considerate. Considerate is an adjective, meaning the person always think for other people. Now let's talk about word number two, cheer. We're going to use cheer in the phrase cheer up or cheer somebody up. Okay? So to cheer somebody up is to make somebody happier. For example, Missy had a bad day, so she ate some ice cream to cheer herself up, to make herself a bit happier. Okay, so that's how you use the word cheer. And cheer is actually a regular verb, so the past tense is cheered with ed at the end. Now, if you use that as an adverb, it's cheerfully. So you can sing cheerfully, do something cheerfully. Remember to use an adverb with the verb. And then cheerful is actually the adjective. Like, he is very cheerful today, meaning he is very happy today. He's probably jumping up and down to display his happiness. Okay? And cheer can be used as just one word, like cheer someone. Okay? Word number three, it's the word spare. We're going to use the word spare in the phrase be spared from. Okay? It's kind of like be safe from, like he is safe from harm. Is not being harmed. That's what it's about. So somebody be spared from something or VING. Remember, from is a proposition, so you have to use either a noun or VING after the word from. If somebody is spared from something, means the person is safe from something. The person is perfectly okay, not injured, not hurt, not spoiled. So our town was spared from any terrible disasters last year. Means no disasters actually came to our town last year. That's why our town was spared from disasters. Okay? Now spare is a regular verb, so the past tense of spare is spared. And then you can also use spare to, for example, like you spare time for someone. Now, can you spare some time for me so you can talk to me? Okay, can you spare some time to talk to me? Something like that means can you make some time, and then so we can do something else. So to spare time means to make time for something. Okay, write this down. Spare time equals to make time for something. Alright, so that's another way to use the word spare as a verb. As for using spare as an adjective, if you're talking about a spare tire, you're talking about an extra tire. The one that you use as a backup, you're not going to really use it. That's a spare tire. A spare can also be used as a noun. So, do you have any spares? Meaning, do you have any extra items? Okay, so that's how to use the word spare. The final two words that we're going to talk about today is pour and target. Now we're going to talk about using them as verbs. First, let's talk about pour. Pour is easy. You can pour your heart into something. Like I pour my heart into doing this. I pour my effort into doing this, which means you have given your all. Okay, that's pour heart and effort into doing something. So write down, put your heart and effort into doing something. That's the first way of using pour. The second one is pour a liquid, some kind of liquid into something. For example, he poured milk on his cereal. Okay, so you can pour either your heart, your effort into doing something, or you can pour some kind of liquid into something or onto something. Okay, as for target, target can be a verb and also a noun. Now using target as a verb is, first of all, is a regular verb, so the past tense of target is targeted. When you target something, it means that you make something your target. Maybe you're trying to reach the goal, maybe you're trying to kill that something, especially when a hunter targets an animal, he means to kill the animal. Okay, so target something. Like the example here, the hunters targeted the elephants for their trunks, which means they kill the elephants simply because of their trunks. So this for is kind of like because of the trunks, the hunters killed them. Right? So when you target something, it means you make something your goal, you're trying to reach it, or you're trying to eliminate it. Now, as for using target as a noun, it's the goal, it's the aim, it's the final destination. Okay, so that's what target is. Target is countable as a noun, so one target, two targets. Now we're going to talk about the rest of the vocabulary on the sheet. Number 9, first of all, tourist. Tourist refers to people who visit another country. They are visitors of that country. So these are tourists. Countable, a tourist, two tourists. The act of kind of like having more people to come to your country so they can sightsee, they can buy things, souvenirs, stuff like that. It's tourism. Again, tourism. Tourism is the business of trying to kind of invite as many tourists to your country as possible so they can do some sightseeing, they can buy souvenirs, and you can make profits along the way. That's tourism. Okay, tourism itself is not countable, so do not count tourism. 11, we have community. Again, community. What is community? Community refers to an actual community. For example, you living in some kind of community where a lot of houses are very close to each other. Okay, a lot of residents of the same community share common living spaces. All right, that's community. But community can also refer to something that is not touchable, like the Chinese community, or people who love the same thing. They have their own community. So these are communities. They are not tangible. You can't see them, but you have people participating in the same kind of events, activities, and actions. All right. So a phrase that you have to learn is a sense of community. A sense of community means you feel like you belong to this community. So you have this idea and a sense of oneness with the people who are in the same community with you. So that's a sense of community. Number 2, that's the next one, is stranger. Very straightforward. Stranger is a noun, countable. So one stranger, two strangers. Strangers are people who we are not familiar with. Okay, these are strangers. Next one is number 5, splash. Okay, it's a verb, but it's too easy, so we're not going to talk about it. Now, splash, is a regular verb, so the past tense is splashed. Okay, you can splash water, you can splash anything that is liquid. Okay. Number 8 is respect. You can use respect in many different ways. First of all, using respect as a verb, respect somebody. Okay, just put an object after the word respect. Like you need to respect the elderly. Okay, write it down. The elderly. E-L-D-E-R-L-Y. Elderly. Elderly refers to the senior citizens in a city. Okay. Next, you can use respect as a noun. It's not countable because it's a kind of feeling, so it's not countable. So you need to show respect to someone else. Okay, so write this phrase down. Show respect to. You can show respect to people. All right, and then respectful will be the adjective, and then you know what the adverb is. Respectfully. I have to respectfully decline your offer. Means I don't agree with you. I'm gonna say no to your offer, but I say it in a respectful way. So you can say I have to respectfully decline your order or decline your offer, something like that. Now next one is respectable. If somebody is respectable, maybe because he or she is an honorable person, so people respect he or she for everything that he or she has done so far. So that person is respectable. Moving on to the next one, which is favorite. Very easy. Your favorite means the thing that you like the best, so that's favorite. Okay, you can use it as an adjective. You can also use it as a noun, countable. I have several favorites. Okay, like I like several different things. Number 12 is scented. If something is scented, it smells good. Okay, so scent refers to a kind of smell, a good kind of smell. And then you can scent something, okay, to make something smell good. That's using scent as a verb. Okay. Number 3 is parade. Parade refers to a bunch of people gathered together and marching towards the same destination. That will be a parade. Parade is a countable noun, so 1 parade, 2 parades. Of course, you can also use parade as a verb, so a bunch of people can parade towards the same destination. Okay. Number 6, we have good-natured. Good-natured means friendly, means mild in temper, not very aggressive. That's good-natured. Like in the article, they splash water onto each other because it's just what the festival is about. Not because they want to hurt you, not because they want to make you wet, but because they want to clean you. It's about cleansing. It's about renew yourself for the coming year. So good nature want to fight. They do not have ill intention. That's what it means. So you can learn from this how to make a new, we talked about it before, an adjective, right? So you can combine an adjective with a noun with ed, like good and natured, to make a new adjective. Now take out your books and turn to page 41. So page 41, see good-natured. Joining an adjective along with a noun with ed, you can make a new kind of adjective. Here are some very common examples. You need to memorize them because we use them quite often. Number 1 is kind-hearted. If a person is kind-hearted, it means the person is actually very considerate and always try to help other people and bear no ill intention, something like that. Number 2 is ill-tempered. If a person is ill-tempered, it means the person gets angry really quickly, and sometimes the person is just really offensive and aggressive. Next time is old-fashioned. If something is old-fashioned, it's not modern and is out of date. Next one is left-handed, and you know that most people are right-handed, right? So left-handed and right-handed, these are the opposites. So this is the end of the explanation for the vocabulary in Unit 7.